Hi, everyone, and welcome to Axon podcast. This is our very first episode, and we're super excited to kick off this new series of tech talks where we'll be discussing technology and innovation with our teammates and special guests. My name is Sofia. I'm marketing manager at Axon. I'm here today with my amazing teammates, Vyacheslav, head of engineering,
Hello.
and Metro, business development manager.
Hi
And
everyone.
today we have fantastic guest, Paul Lyons, the CTO at Connected Fanatics. Paul is ex-Adidas, Polar and Nord Cloud, AI data and machine learning expert, and cloud solution architect. Paul, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. You've made me sound very impressive.
As I said, Paul is CTO at Connected Fanatics. It is a fan engagement platform powering direct-to-fan merchandise by integrating NFC technology.
To build Locker Room, a revolutionary digital approach to sports merchandise. Locker Room creates a direct relationship between a club and its fans by transforming merchandise into a digital access point, making it more meaningful, sustainable, and more profitable as a key to a membership subscription that gives your fans access to the inner sanctum of your team. Through secure NFC technology, every jersey gets a unique digital identity that transforms merchandise into a portal to exclusive content, a safe digital community, matchday experiences, and from a product destined for landfill into an heirloom, filled with memories. The Locker Room Fan app includes a virtual wardrobe, where fans manage their profile and the unique digital twin of their products, display other assets like NFTs, and even unlock their real jersey to be worn in the metaverse.
And to the origin story, Paul, could you tell us how did you come up with the idea of Connected Fanatics?
Yeah, it's a long story. And of course, Slava there is modeling our jersey today.
Yes.
It's very nice to see.
Yes.
Yeah, so the idea goes a long way back from conversations that Matt, the CEO and founder of Connected Fanatics, we had a conversation one day when he discovered that RFIDs or NFC chips would be put in the jerseys to help with stock control, and we had a long chat, and some of the others in the team were involved as well. But we had a long chat about how you could actually use that technology to track the jersey for fans, and could you see which matches people had gone to, and how could you record memories of the games you'd gone to into the jersey using these kinds of technologies. So that was kind of the basis and the origins of the idea, and then that's grown over the years to be a more encompassing like fan engagement platform. So we have the Connected Fanatics app. We have a global control center and dashboard, which is content management and analytics primarily to get content into the app, and it allows people who have the jerseys to get exclusive content fed to them, have exclusive conversations with the athletes that are in the team, and catch up with all their fellow fans that they meet at matches, and then when they go home to their different cities, they can have a safe conversation away from social media. So that's kind of the origin. That's it.
It's fantastic. It's always interesting to hear from our clients how their ideas were born. And I love this idea of connecting physical merchandise with digital experience. And I believe that it's the future of fan engagement technology, and the future is already here, and it is already happens today.
Right, yes.
Yeah, and I'm like a football fan can add that having such a possibility to physically connect to your favorite club, it's really valuable, and like build more deep connections between fans and clubs.
That's right. Yes, and we're trying to like deepen that relationship. I think one of the key things is when you buy a jersey today, as soon as you leave the shop, that's the last that anybody knows about what happens to that jersey or where that fan wears that jersey. So as well as giving the fans access through the app, the other thing that we want to be able to enable is for teams to sort of see the life of that jersey and the way that the fans celebrate the game alongside the teams.
And I also like the possibility of your app to save moments, memorable moments from the games, because I got such like reminders from Facebook when I visited some games with my friends, and each year I get this reminder. But when you have the app with all these days, with all these memories, it's really good. It's really cool.
That's right. I think when fans celebrate a match, I don't know if that's the right word. I'm digressing now, but
celebrate. Actually,
celebrate is probably the right word, right? You go to
Yeah.
a match. It's an occasion. When I was living in the UK still and going to football matches regularly, it was an occasion. You put the jersey on and I have distinct memories of some matches stood at the home end in Barnsley in the cold, like watching matches and singing songs and seeing the characters that were the season ticket holders and sharing stories with them. In Barnsley, they're fairly difficult to understand, some of the locals, even it's the same language, different accent. But again, that just adds to the memories and the richness of the experience. And I think, if I remember correctly, the toilets at Barnsley are about the most famous in the UK. So that was always a memory to maybe try and forget rather than to remember. But yeah, these matches and the moments that are created while you're wearing the jersey, that's exactly what we're trying to capture with Connected Fanatics.
NFC technology. Is it the core of Connected Fanatics? Could you tell us, please, how did you come up with the idea of using NFC technology? And Slava also showed me that even his jersey had this unique NFC tag that could be connected to the application.
Yes, it's hard to show right now. Where is it? But yes, we have it.
Right, blurs it. I need to put it next to my face so it doesn't blur. But
yes.
This is the tag that Slava would have to stand up to show you.
Yes, actually, we have it here.
So we've worked with our partner, Avery Dennison, who created these tags for Canterbury. You can point to the Canterbury logo on the jersey. So they manufacture the jersey for the Lions. So yeah, I mean, we use NFC technology mostly because it's secure. So each tag gets a secure identifier for itself. And also we have some reference data like written to the memory of that tag, so it like cross correlates. The idea being that we don't want people to be able to create counterfeit jerseys. So the other advantage of using this technology is that you can identify genuine jerseys and prevent counterfeiting and these like knockoff jerseys. But yeah, so I mean, there's then two technologies. One is RFID, and then the other one is NFC. And we prefer to use NFC because it's the near field communication. It's hard, or you need much more different equipment to read that at a distance. So it's more secure for individuals basically to have it on their clothing when it's identifying them within a system. So there's lots of considerations for this kind of technology. Like some competitors in the market use a QR code on the jersey, but that's also not particularly secure because a photo of that QR code works just as well as the QR code, so it doesn't It doesn't prevent counterfeiting. It doesn't uniquely identify the jersey or the person wearing it. So it's difficult to use in a service. And NFC basically overcomes all of these challenges. And even with washing, so you probably can't see, but there's this is encased in plastic and then encased in a film again. So I think they've tested the tags themselves to 200 washes, I think.
Nice.
So that's a lot of matches you can go to before you need to wear the NFC tag.
And from the fan engagement perspective, I believe that it adds extra value to the jersey. Like when you know that it is unique, no one ever else that doesn't have the same jersey as you because it have the unique NFC tag. Yes.
Exactly. And then inside the app, of course, there's a digital twin of that jersey that once you've scanned the jersey with the app, then we unlock that digital twin for you, and you can show your friends that you have the jersey. You don't have to be wearing it. You can show off that you own this jersey, or you own two jerseys, or you own two jerseys and a hat. Like these are the
yeah. And we are in the area where NFC could easily be converted to NFT.
Yes, absolutely. One day, watch this space, I think.
And what do you think at Connected Fanatics? What new opportunities NFC does open for fans now when you use it for jerseys? Maybe there are some more opportunities to use it. New ways.
Absolutely. So we're obviously there's other kinds of apparel that it can be used in. We're also looking at signing into events or using having your jersey could be your digital ticket, maybe your season even. These are the kinds of possibilities that come up in the future. And as Slava says, NFTs, so digital tokens associated with the jersey or associated with athletes are then a possibility. So if instead of with a pen and some paper and getting the signature of your favorite football star, you'll be able to collect basically the signature as an NFT from that player's jersey with your mobile phone, and you'll be able to apply that signature to your own jersey as if they'd signed the jersey in real life. So there's lots of digital possibilities that are opened up by having this technology and thinking about that from a fan first perspective rather than just using it as a technology to validate the authenticity of a particular piece of clothing.
Yeah.
And then of course sorry, I had some.
Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, there's the possibility then to look at other brands and other to use it there's fans of I don't know, Louis Vuitton, or fans of Harley Davidson, or fans of any number theme parks. There's all kinds of places where this technology can be used to enhance the experience of somebody who loves that brand.
Yes, and obviously we have a lot of other ways and ideas how to use these tokens, but we are not going to share this information right now, so stay tuned.
For sure.
Leave them wanting more. That's
Yes.
And let's move to the tech block. Let's talk a little bit what's under the hood of Connected Fanatics. And we have one point to discuss: infrastructure as a code. So could you tell us, please, why did you choose to implement it for your project, and what are the challenges related to this approach?
I think maybe we should let Slava describe the challenges, but the reason that we chose infrastructure as code is basically for repeatability, reliability, security. There's the possibility to audit the deployment before it gets deployed, and therefore you can have increased confidence that that code is secure. You've also tested that deployment in your test environments and things like that. So I mean, I'm old enough. I've like cut my hair today. You can't see all the grey, but I'm old enough to remember when services were deployed by hand. So, you know, every server that you had in your environment was kind of over time became a unique snowflake. And there were some servers that you could update and some servers that you couldn't because somebody had changed some setting and not written it down.
Such kind of servers start living their own life.
Exactly. So with infrastructure as code, like all of that doubt and much more of the confidence comes in. So that's the reason that we've chosen to go through that with Axon, that journey.
Exactly. And what is worth to mention that it's really hard to break the infrastructure with such a kind of setup. And we have always reproducible environments. And what is the most important here, that the engineer who is responsible for this portion of work actually need to have exact right knowledge of in our case it's AWS services, and he should know what he's doing actually with all of these infrastructure as a code practices. And this is encourage the engineer to learn everything, and this leads to better quality of the infrastructure and the end of the result. What is the challenges with such kind of approach is that at the very beginning, actually it could take more time to set up everything, and at the very beginning it could look like that the process of maintenance of infrastructure could be a bit slow, but after everything will be established and continuous integration and delivery will set up properly, then it will be easier to just introduce additional Lambda, additional queue, and all other services. After a few months of tough, hard maintenance, you will receive properly set up infrastructure, and where it will be easy to introduce something new.
Yes, I think the other challenge at the beginning is getting the roles and the permissions correct, because you're trying to do the minimal number of permissions for each service. So you have to, what are all the minimal permissions? Then obviously, even though it's minimal, there's still a lot of them. So there seems to be a lot of cutting and pasting and creating. And then, as Slava says, once you're a few months in, then each additional permission, it just suddenly becomes one line instead of 60 lines of permissions that you have to discover. So that initial setup is, I don't want to say painful, interesting. It's a good exercise in sort of discovery, but you learn a lot about the cloud platform as you're doing it and what's the correct way to use it. So again, it's good knowledge and experience that's been gained by the engineer on the DevOps side.
Yes, and it sort of push us to the cloud native approach, where we are rely on these services rather than using old-fashioned way, where building huge monolith. It's hard to scale and maintain and release it every a few hours. And then
So let's get back to our collaboration with Axon. And I always like to ask our clients, why did you hire us? Because answers to these questions usually bring some like valuable insights for me. Can you please remember how we started, like 8 months ago, and why did you hire us?
Yeah, so I think I was originally recommended Axon by an ex-colleague. So let me pause. So the reason that I liked Axon from the beginning was the approach they took to getting to know what we were trying to do, and the sort of the way that questions were asked. So I always see like the engagement and the possibility for working with someone normally comes from the questions. Do people ask relevant questions? Are they engaged in finding out more? And are from the questions that are asked, you can see that somebody understood what has gone before. And I think the team that we talked to originally, which is 60% the team that we went ahead with the development, so that's very handy as well. So those individuals were very good at asking questions, very good at like understanding the outcomes that we were trying to achieve, not just like where are we now, but where do we want to get to. And that, I think that leaves you with a positive feeling, and I still have that positive feeling today, because it's still the same kinds of questions and the same attitude that the team have, 8 months later as we've been working together. So I'm very happy with that.
That's nice to hear. I think the team will be happy to hear this when they watch the podcast. And
we do try to tell them every 2 weeks that we're very happy still at it.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why they are so involved and they are so like want to find out more details about your project, it's the project itself, because it's a really inspiring thing that you are developing.
Yeah, and that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody watching sports.
Yeah, we try to combine the two teams that are into the sports. And another question I'd like to ask: after this 8 months of collaboration, what benefits can you count from this? What main benefits can you count?
Yes, from where we started, the product and what we're able to do with it has progressed immensely. First of all, we had the launch of the jersey that Slava's wearing, so that was our first, the first time that we're putting that in front of the real public and fans and the customer. And from the feedback that we see, like within the app and in the app stores, in the reviews, fans are appreciative of what we've done and what we're trying to do, and the experiences that we're unlocking for them. And then I think it's very similar to what I have said in the previous answer. I think that the professionalism and the interest and the imagination that's shown with regard to the product, I think the team bring us the ability to move forward, and they also are very good at putting the brakes on when we're trying to move forward too fast, or we're going to go like quickly into a cul-de-sac, and we'll end up with something that might not be usable in the future or might not be extensible. So we very much appreciate that the team are there to like work with us and hold our hand through the process and guide us technology-wise and user interaction-wise into the future.
Thank you. Thank you for your answer.
Yes, and I want to add that what is the very important thing is the level of honesty and level of communication and level of where we are supporting each other. It's very important, and to get the desired result, and sometimes we need to get this desired result in time, and yes, so that having this way of the communication, I think it's beneficial for everybody to be happy and healthy on the project.
And it's always nice to hear about such a good match between the team and the client.
Yes. And Paul, I want to ask you about fan engagement software and your thoughts on its evolution. How do you see the evolution of fan engagement software through the Connected Fanatics locker room, your like core feature of the product?
Well, yes, that is the question. I think it will be interesting to see how like traditional media is kind of or traditional coverage of sports events is increasingly going behind paywalls, and having a fan engagement platform has the potential to kind of unlock that ability to kind of follow matches and to feel like you're involved with the match, even if you're not like physically present in the stadium or being able to watch it, that you can follow it, you can wear the jersey, you can follow along within within the channels that we have for matches and content sharing and
Live
the
feed.
live updates from the stadium. This is not a very coherent answer.
Okay.
But I think that's really the future. Is the future is bringing people closer to match day, regardless of where they are in the world. I think, like we call ourselves expatriates, right? But as an expat living outside of my home country, following sports at home is sometimes difficult. And an engagement platform like this, I think, is like the perfect avenue, the perfect medium to experience the excitement of match day when it's hard to get hold of the actual legal, real content that's happening in the match, and it's even more difficult to attend a live match.
Yeah, I believe that Connected Fanatics it breaks the distance between fans and sports team. And if we talk about the traditional media ways, how media cover like sports events or translation of the match days, it differs, and it seems like it's a little bit outdated comparing to the way that Connected Fanatics offers to fans.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we're trying to be as well is like a safe space for fans. So that's why it's important for us with the jerseys to identify the fans, so that where we have communities within the app, that they're of verified followers of the team. So it's not going to be the gigantic numbers that you see on social media, like we have 1 billion followers because we're like Barcelona Football Club. But inside the app, that number will be much smaller, but it's much more focused. It's much more interested.
It's much more
and
real.
And much more real, yes, exactly, and much safer. That's the thing. So it's not going to be full of abuse. So, I mean, I don't know if you followed some athletes. I mean, some people on social media, which is relatively anonymous, people say some horrific things to athletes that they are supposedly a fan of that team. Whereas within our app, it's much less anonymous. We are able to warn people. We're able to give them some feedback about the way that they're interacting with athletes and other people in the community, and ultimately ban them if they're not being respectful to other people. So that creates that safe space. It creates that confidence for fans then to have athletes to have a relationship with the fans in a much more open way. So our expectation is that relationship between the athletes and staff within a team and the fans can actually become closer, which is on social media that has to be kind of a bit more like standoffish and like respectful distance, because you can't open up too much. So you're right, yes.
Thank you that you joined us today, and I believe that the Connected Fanatics team and application has great collaborations with the great teams ahead, and I truly believe that there is also successful collaboration between Axon and Connected Fanatics as well.
Yes, and given our app is all about the team and engagement, then I think that with Axon, we've found the right team, and we're very engaged, and they're very engaged with us. And we would have to work very hard to find a better team than the one we have at the moment.
That's really nice to hear. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to our very first public podcast episode. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to support us with likes, comments, and shares. And we'd really love to hear your feedback and what topics would you like us to cover next. So stay tuned and see you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.